Yes, Sinana. So to understand and to write a basic Java program in any programming language, I mean that any program if you want to write in Java, before that we need to cover some fundamentals in core Java. So that I am starting today. So out of the first topic will be data types. So data types means so whatever the value we are using or whatever the value we are storing, so what type of value it is, or I can say that how much size will it require. So that thing will indicate generally data type. Like example, like for example, if you take number 2, 3, 4, so we will generally use the integer. So why we means to store that particular numbers, we are defining the int as a data type. So likewise, so that data type always will inform you two things. One is what type of data it is, and also like what kind, how much size will it occupied in the memory. So these data types, again we have two types: primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Primitive means predefined, so that is already existing in the Java, like as we discussed, like int, long, short, float, double, these are all we call primitive data types. Primitive and built-in. Non-primitive means our own defined data types, which is known as non-primitive. So if you observe that each data type for what purpose we used, so I mentioned here, if you observe int is for integers, long is for integers, so but only the difference size, memory occupation. So for example, if you want to store mobile numbers or account numbers, then we can go for long. Or if you want to use traditional numbers, we'll use the int. And similarly, like when we are using the like decimals like points, we may use float or double. So like that, these are the different data types which we generally used in the application. So mostly we used our int, long, float, double, and even string also. So references data types are nothing but arrays, class, enumeration, interface, and even strings. So these are all called as reference. That means collection of characters we called as a class. So that's why string is also considered as a reference data type only. Okay. So but later after a few days we'll talk about this: what is array, what is class, all the stuff. But before that you need to understand. So data type is used to represent the type of the data or the value which we are storing in the program. Okay. So now to the continuation. So what do you mean by variables are? A variable is a place of memory where we can store the information or data. So that means whatever the value we want to store in a program, like example a equal to 10 to b equal to some 20. So that a, b, whatever the names we are using, that is only we call variables. So variable, I can also say that is a pointer to the value which we stored in the memory. So for example, if you consider here int a equal to 10, so the 10 is the value, the a is the pointer. So the 10 where some memory it is stored in the our actual memory. So where it is actually stored, that memory pointer is indicating by this particular a, I can say that. So the syntax will be data type followed by variable and equal to value. So data type, just before I told you. So based on the value which you are going to be storing in the variable name, you need to define the data type for the respective variable. So likewise, we have to write data type followed by variable name is equal to value. So similarly, how many variables or how many values you want to use in your program, so that many you can consume as like similar to this. And after that variable and data type, we need to understand input and output statement basically. So if you want to print something on the program or something in the console, so basically we will use this output statement, that is system.out.println or print. Both will be used to print the data. Either you can use the println or you can use the print. So both can be used to print the data in the console in the Java program. So similarly, even you can print the variables also. Like if you want to print the text or string, so we can use double quotes to print it. But if you want to print the variables, so generally we are using this particular variable name without double quotes. So if you want to print the text, use the double quotes. Otherwise, don't use. Just you can wrote the variable name. And also if you write the variable without declaring that, it will show an error, the variable not found. Okay, that means if you want to use the variable, before that you need to declare it. And the next one, concatenation, like if you want to join the text with numbers or text with text, so generally we will use this concatenation operators called plus. So the concatenation operator will help you to concatenate that is string with number or string with string or value with string, like that. So the plus is the concatenation operator in the Java. Yeah, the next one, description. So whenever you want to write description in any Java program, so generally we may use comments. So comments are used to describe the program. So like if you have only one line, we can use double forward slash. So or if you have the multi-line slash star followed by content slash star, we can use. But these contents, whatever you are writing as part of the comments, will not be showcased anywhere in the program. It is only for your readability. It won't be showcased anywhere. So as of now, any doubt? So either in the data types or variables and
No,
output
sir.
statement and comments. These four topics is clear for everyone.
Yes, sir, clear.
Any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
Okay. And the next one is package. So generally, if you write any program, if you observe in Java, if you have a little touch in that, we write import statements, right? So that import means we are importing some package. So in Java, the folder structure only we call packages. So package nothing but a folder in Java where we can hold the programs like classes and interfaces. So if you want to create a new package, so we will use a keyword called package. Or if you want to use the existing package, so we can use the import keyword. Just you can write import package name dot star or import package name dot class name, like that. So if you want to use it, you should go for import. If you want to create it, you have to go for package. So these are the two keywords generally we used in the Java to represent it. So either one is package, another one is import statement.
Uh,
And now we will go for sample program as shown here. See, first we are writing comments and then class name and main method generally. So main method in generally indicating that starting point of execution. So basically whenever you are going for running any program, so first you need to start with some point. So that's some point only we call main method. So main is always indicating starting point of execution core Java program. But if you go for advanced Java or automation testing, there is no need of this main method because there already some starter points are well defined. Okay. Similarly, for every function, main is a function, right? So if you return the return statement, void will be no more used. But here main method never written any value. That means we never write a return statement, a return keyword in main method. That's why we are writing void. And public is access modifier, which will give the accessibility from anywhere, like from anywhere we can access that method, that indicating that public. And lastly, static. So static generally, if you write in front of the any function or any method, that can be called by using class name rather than object name. So these all will covered little sooner. Don't until like first day we can't match all the things at a time. So next class I will take this detailed explanation of static and void and all the stuff. But as of now, just remember, like a public static void main is a default function that can be used in the Java program to start your program. So I hope you understand, but detail will go one by one. But before going to the what are the things we have? As I mentioned already, package and comments and sorry, yeah. So before going to the tokens, like what operators or everything, we will see some sample program in Java, how to create and how to run it, and where we will discuss some of the needful things like regarding the variables and as well as like what we just now covered, like maybe functions, how to call the functions and all the stuff we'll see. So that after the we'll come back here so that you can understand some points over here. So if you have any doubts as of now, please ask me, Nana. Otherwise, I will go for sample program creation. Any doubts as of now? All of you.
No, sir.
So if you want to create the core Java program in Java, I mean that core Java means basic Java program. First of all, we need to create a project, Nani, here in the Eclipse. Okay, we are using Eclipse as I already told you. So we are using Eclipse to work with the Java programs. So if you want to create a new file or new program, before that we need to create a new project. So how we are creating means, first go to the file and under the new, and click on that, and then you have to select the core Java project or Java project, but here it's not showing, right? So go to the project again. So here is showing project, select that. So first go to the file and then new and then project. Under project, you have to select the Java project. Okay, so this is the project what we are required. So here you can able to see that. So this is what we are going to be creating for the core Java application. So Java project. So if feasible, you can note it down. So that is the way of creating the project in core Java. So first one, go click on file. Once again, I'm showing. See here. First one, go to the file and then new and then project, and here in the search box you can type Java, so where you can find Java project, and now click on next, and here you can give the project name. Let's take, I'm giving core Java. Let's take, I'm giving 6 p.m. okay, project as a project name, and just click on finish. No need to do anything, just click on finish. It will create the basic skeleton for the Java application. Yeah, see here, the name, whatever we given, it's created with that name. Okay. So once you open, you will find a folder called SRC, that is we call source. So where you can able to create, or where we can create the like multiple files, whatever we require. So I will start with hello.java. Okay. So right click on the SRC. So is someone speaking? Any doubt?
No,
Hello?
no, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Nana.
Datatypes, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Okay, see Nana. So right click on the SRC and click on new, and where you can select the package. Okay, so where we have to create a package first, and under that we have to create the classes basically. So package nothing but it's a kind of folder, as I mentioned. So I'm creating a package. So package name by default is giving the project name. So I'm just changing to basics. Okay, and click on finish. And now under that folder, so it's a folder creation is optional, Anna. It's a just to make it clarify the things, I mean that classify the things into as requirement. So now right click on the basics, new, and take the class, and now give the class name as you required. Okay, so let's assume that I'm giving the class name as, let's take hello, and always remember class name should starts with uppercase letter. You cannot go with small case. It's a standard rule by the Java. And after that, here if you observe that public static void main will be there, so just choose it. Okay, to instead of manually typing that, you can auto create automatically by this option, and click on finish. So now you can able to see a simple program called hello.java in the basics, and it will create even the basic structure for your Java program. So means class, see, we are just now created a package in basics, right? So that's why it's showing, see, the package basics, and under that public class hello. So listen carefully, Anna. Here I will tell you the bit by bit. So here Java is a purely object oriented programming language, so that each and every program we have to start with class and end with class. So we cannot skip it at any time. So every time we have to write the class. Within the class, every time we should write the functions, and also one main function will be mandatory. Along with that, other functions also we are writing. Okay, and now the class public is keywords. Remember always, public is a keyword. Wherever we will write, it is indicating public specification. That means from every program we can access this content. That is the meaning of the public. But if the same place, if you mentioned as a private, so that we can't access from outside this class, so that we can access within the class only. Okay, and now within this class I'm just writing a very simple, as I mentioned, so simple public, okay, static, as like main I'm writing my own function y plus take, I'm writing simply say underscore hello. Okay, this is the function name I'm writing. So now here if you observe, it is quite similar to here also. Okay, here whatever the say hello or main here we have, these are we call function names. Okay, so that is the name of the function, but here main is the inbuilt name, say hello is our name, so we can write our own name. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Yeah. So in each function, we may write sometimes this return statement like this, return some x, something like that we can write. Okay. But if I'm not writing this return, if I'm writing, then we have to tell what type of it is instead of void. Okay. For example, see, simple example I will give you. Int x I return. Okay. And here I mentioned return x. Okay. So now what is the type of x? So it's highlighted now. It's showing error because we are returning a value called x, which is type of int. So now in this case, instead of void, you should write int. You cannot write void. So that is you need to remember. Okay. Or else if I'm not writing this return x in the function, then you should write here void. So that is the difference between void to data type. So I hope you understand when we have to write void and when we have to write type. So void means whenever we require, we don't want to send anything from the respective function, or I mean to say you don't want to return anything from the function, you can write void. So if you want to return something, the something belongs to what type, you should mention instead of void. So any doubt as of now?
Sir, so ಮళ్ళీ చెప్తారా sir?
See now. So when we will write the void means whenever we want to, sorry, whenever we don't want to return anything. ఒక్క నిమిషం. Yeah, see here. So whenever we don't want to return anything from this function, we will write the void. Whenever you want to return something, we will write the respective type. Example, I will tell you some more examples we'll write so that you can understand. So here int x I'm writing, let's take int x equal to 10 I'm writing, and here I'm writing system dot out dot println x. So here, so as I mentioned, it is output statement. So now in this case we can write void because I didn't write any return statement. Okay, so now here I'm taking as a 1 because the names cannot be duplicate, so everything we should differentiate the name. That is one rule. So in Java the names what we are using should be unique, it should not be duplicate. Okay, and now here what I'm trying to say, x equal to I'm writing 20, but I am writing here return x. Okay, instead of system.out.println I return the x. So now in this case you should write, so instead of what, because we return the return, so what is the type of x? It is 20, right? So it is an integer, right? So you should replace with int. So similarly, so error is gone. So similarly Even it is showing the error also, and if you do some mistake in Eclipse, it will show the errors also. And now say hello 3 I'm doing. Let's take, I'm here defining some string, okay, string some x equal to, I'm putting double quotes, let's take hello, okay. Now if you observe here, so whatever the x I'm returning, though I'm returning the x, so we can't write void definitely, but here the return type we mentioned as a int, but here returning is string, not just int, so you should change to here string. So my point here is, if I'm not write this statement called return, simply write void. If you return something, then what is the something? Is it integer? Mention the int. If it is string, mention the string. If it is float, mention the float. So is this point clear now?
Yes, sir.
Everyone, is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, great. And next one. So for example, the next one very important, the meaning of the static, okay? So static means whenever you are writing static in front of any function, then that function can be executed using this particular class name, okay? But if I'm not writing the static keyword, then we should write an object for the respective class and we have to access. So what it means, I will show you some example here, you see. For example, I'm removing the static here, okay? So here what I'm trying to do here, see, I'm writing system dot out dot
Oh, print alert.
print ln within the brackets. So now see, first one I defined as a static, right? So now you can call that by using class name like hello dot, what is that? Say hello 2, that's all. But when come to the third one, let's take the same name, I'm changing to 3. Now it will show an error, see that. Because when we are not defined as a static, it won't allow you to call the class name. So you require to create an object. So object syntax is class name, object, new, again class name. So this is the syntax for object. And now you can call by using that object, it allows. See that. So I hope you understand the difference between static and without static. So with the static means
Static.
that function can be called by directly by the class name. Whatever the class we define, the name is hello. By that we can able to call it. By that we can able to execute it. But when coming to the without static, further you require to create a first of all object and then only you have to call it by the name of object. And object syntax is class name. So here I'm in the comment I'm writing class name space sorry, object name equal to new class name. So this is the syntax for object. And with static means the comment, see, class name dot function name, that's all. So this is the basic syntax as just before. These are we call comments. These are for your understanding, our reading purpose. These won't be getting as an output. So any doubt as of now? Everybody, any doubt as of now? So
Sir, under the voice
difference
రావట్లేదు
between
sir.
void and
ఇంకా
without void, and the difference between static and without static. Is it clear, everyone? Hello?
అందరిది వాయిస్ డిస్కనెక్ట్ అవుతుందట సార్, వాళ్ళ కనెక్ట్ కావట్లేదట.
వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు నాది.
మీది ఓకే సార్, వాళ్ళది కనెక్ట్ కావట్లేదట సార్.
కనెక్ట్ కావట్లేదు, ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆగండి.
వాళ్ళది
ఇప్పుడు ట్రై చేయండి నన్ను ఒకసారి, వాయిస్ ఎవరైనా ట్రై చేయండి ఒకసారి.
సార్ వస్తుంది సార్ ఇప్పుడు.
చెప్పండి, నేను డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయి చెప్పండి.
ఇప్పుడు వస్తుంది సార్.
వస్తుంది రా, డౌట్స్ ఏంటి చెప్పండి అంటున్నాను. డౌట్స్ ఏమన్నా చెప్పండి. నా వాయిస్ ఇప్పుడు రాలేదు, వస్తుంది నా వాయిస్ వస్తుందిగా మీకు.
ఇప్పుడు అందరికీ
మీ
ఓకే
వాయిస్
సార్.
వస్తుంది సార్.
ఓకే, మీరు చెప్పండి, డౌట్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయో చెప్పండి అంటున్నాను నేను.
ఏం ప్రాబ్లం లేదు సార్, డౌట్స్
Okay, good అయితే. So 2 points is clear, right? And this anyway the first one as I mentioned is a function name. So now the last one, public or private, as I mentioned, these are access modifiers to make it controlling the accessibility. Like if you want to consume that function, whatever we written, say hello 1, say hello 2, within that program only or outside the program, that is the meaning what I'm explaining. If you want to consume in this program only, define as a private. If you want to consume these anywhere, like wherever you require, you want to consume it, then define as a public. So two things majorly important: private, public. Public means anywhere you can use it. Private means within that program only we can use it. Outside that program we can't use it. Is it clear or not?
Clear, sir.
Hello?
Okay, sir. Okay. Clear, sir. Clear.
Yeah, fine, great. So now once your creation completed, so to run this particular program, right click on the Java program, okay, right click on the Java program and run as, and select the Java application. So check it once, right click on the Java program, right click on the Java program and then click on run as and then click on Java application. Now you can able to see the output on the console here. In this you can see it printed 20 and it printed hello. So likewise, you can able to create the function and you can able to execute. So for example, you forget to write this lines in the main method, assume that, okay? So you forgot to write. Now it doesn't show any error, but you won't get any output because whatever the functions we so far created in the above, whatever the functions, so that will be created, not automatically executed. So if you want to execute them, you need to call them from the main method. There is no other option. You have to call them, or else we have to create the automation testing like JUnit or TestNG. We have to create. So these are the two approaches we have. One is either JUnit we can use or TestNG or else main method. These are the ways we can run any function in Java. Any doubt as of now?
No.
Hello?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So then whatever the x or x here, if you define right, these are all we call variables. And right side whatever we given hello or 20, that is we call values. And the before the x here I defined int, here I defined string, right? So these are only called as data types. So data types are always used to define the variables to store the information. Is it clear?
సార్ ఒకసారి చెప్పరా
సార్ ఇక్కడ మనం స్టాటిక్ రాయకుంటే హలో ఆబ్జెక్ట్ న్యూ రాయాలి కదా సార్ న్యూ హలో
స్టాటిక్ రాయకపోతే క్లాస్ నేమ్ తో కాల్ చేయాలి.
ఓకే
ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అవసరం లేదు.
ఓకే
ఓకే
సార్ నా వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తుందా సార్?
వినిపిస్తుందన్నా?
సార్ ఓకే
Okay. So here if you observe that the double slash whatever I written here, these are we call comments. That means these are only readable purpose. And system.out.println whatever I written here, this is called output statement, which will help you to print something on the screen. So ఈ స్క్రీన్ మీద మీ ప్రింట్ చేయడానికి యూజ్ చేసేది system.out.println. And finally public class name is indicating class, so where we will write entire code of Java program. And the first line whatever we are writing package basics, this is called folder where our program will be there in our particular application. And let's take, I want to print a date, simple example I'm telling. So for that we require to import java.util.start or util.date, I can say that. So if something which is already there you want to consume it, so for that we require to import. Okay, so now I'm using the date, right? So that's why we are importing in. And now if I want to print it, so just let's take example, I'm just taking one example. Okay, like that we can use the import keyword I'm telling. Okay, so now I'm writing new date. So new date will be used to fetch the current system date and time. So now I'm printing this. So you can able to see the, along with this, see that today date and time is printed here over here if you observe that. Okay,
సార్ 10 ప్రింట్ కావాలి కదా సార్ మరి 10 ప్రింట్ కావాలి కదా సార్ ఫస్ట్
అర్థం కదన్నా?
10 సార్
10
అదే సార్
మనం 10 x ఈక్వల్ 10 ఇచ్చాం కదా
10 20 10 అదే చెప్పే కదా ఇందాక. సే హలో వన్ ఎందుకు ప్రింట్ అవ్వలేదంటే మీరే చెప్పాలి. నేను ఎందుకే చెప్పాను, until unless you called something from the main it won't be executed. See నేను ఇక్కడ hello 2 hello 3 కాల్ చేసా, అందుకే ప్రింట్ అయ్యాయి. hello 1 ఇక్కడ కాల్ చేశాను నేను లేదు. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇక్కడ hello 2 ఇది hello 1 పెడుతున్నా. Now if you are able to see, you will able to see the 10 instead of 20. Like that in Java whatever the functions we are creating, that won't be called automatically, that will be called only what is that, sorry it doesn't have return statement, right? So return statement లేకపోతే we shouldn't no need of this particular system.out.println. Yeah, now
11
you can run this, see that So you can able to see the value called 10 here. You see that 10, 10. Okay. So like that, whichever the functions you called from the main method, that only we have to call. Otherwise, the remaining functions, even though we have in the program, that won't be executed. Ardhamainda?
Okay, sir.
Any doubt as of now?
No, sir.
No.
Any doubts as of now?
No, sir.
Okay, so up to here I will share with you. So please try to do this practice. And if you have any questions, you can ping me in the chat. And to next class, I will go with operators, like where I will show you more operations, where we'll see more examples of like the average, sum, that all will do. Okay, bye, take care.
Okay.
Am I in trouble?